Hello, this is Roland. Today we're going to continue with the Sermon on the Mount, read from the Caboris manuscript. I'm going to begin with Matthew chapter 7, verse 24. Now therefore, whoever hears my words and then is a servant to them is like the wise man who built his house upon rock. Rain beat down upon it, the rushing waters and blowing winds assaulted that house, and it did not fall, because its foundations were established upon rock. And whoever hears my words and does not follow them is like the foolish man who built his house upon sand. Rain beat down upon it, the rushing waters and blowing winds assaulted the house, and it fell, and its fall was total. And when Jesus ended his words, they were amazed at his delivery of wisdom. He had taught them as one of ultimate authority, and not as their scribes and Pharisees. Well, let's begin with where I started today. Whoever hears my words and then is a servant to them. Okay. You see, there has to be a doing. Faith without works is dead. Was it Peter who said that, or was it James? Faith without works is dead. In other words, when you hear what's true and you respond to it with joy or with silent being in accord with it or seeing that it's true, okay, and then you do it. See, that's the natural sequence. If you don't do it, then it's stopped up. It doesn't go anywhere. So there has to be a doing of it. You hear and then do. Okay? Or in this case, hear Christ's words and then follow. Hear and then follow. Now let's bring it up to date and bring it right to the present. You have within you an inner light from God. Okay? And this inner light is how you can know. In fact, everything that you need to know is contained therein. Everything you need to know to be a human being and to grow as you ought and to become what the good Lord intended you to be. And along the way, you encounter people and situations. And if you look within to your intuition. Okay? What you wordlessly know in your heart. Let's call it, we could call it a gut level knowing or a hunch. Trust your gut, they say. Okay? Then it will lead you to safety, health, happiness, joy, fulfillment, all the good things. But if you disregard it, then you didn't hear and follow, see? Because you have a wordless word within, and you don't exactly hear it with your ear, but you apprehend it, you sense it, okay? Whenever I'm talking to a group and I talk about trusting your gut, I say, if you have an intuition about something, then trust that. And everybody always nods. People seem to know that that's true. They sense it. Everyone senses that you follow what you know in your heart, or follow an intuition, a hunch. If you're walking down the street and getting ready to turn into a dark alley to take a shortcut to your parked car, and it's nighttime, and all of a sudden you have a sense that not to go down that alley. Well, then trust that. Don't go down that alley. Who knows what's waiting for you, okay? So everybody knows that, but then guess what? People doubt their intuition all the time. They don't follow it. They don't trust it. They don't listen to it. And what do? They follow other people. They follow other people's advice. Authorities on the outside. Christ had a special authority. which came from God. Okay? And the authority for you as a human being, okay, to live your life, not play the other man's game, not rely on second-hand information, but to know directly and deeply and infallibly what to do, where to go, which way to turn. You have that within. It's your intuition, and it's from God. Okay? And you follow that. You trust it. You don't doubt it. It'll lead you, as I said, to all the good things. But what people do is they doubt what they know in their heart, and they listen to other people. See, you have a sense not to do something, but everybody says, oh, go ahead. Everybody's doing it, so you go ahead and do it, and then you wish you hadn't. See? So you must obey that inner authority, even as Christ obeyed the inner authority. And when he spoke what he knew within, what he realized, what he saw within, he spoke. And you have to be the same way. You must bring forth, see, what you know intuitively. See, even as a bird knows how to build its nest and a beaver knows how to build a dam, you can know how to be a human being by following your intuition, okay, and trusting it, okay? Follow that inner authority and follow through. And when you have an intuition, then, see, the world will try to make you doubt it. The world will try to make you doubt it. They discount it. And see, who teaches you about intuition? You don't learn about it in school. Sure, they may mention, they may pay lip service, but then they don't teach you how to find it. Like Christ said to the Pharisees, he said to the Pharisees somewhere, he said, you know the way, but you don't tell people about it and you hide it from them. And then you heap burdens upon them. See, nobody teaches you about intuition. See? Or they say, well, it's a woman's intuition, or then they claim it's just, see, they mess it up. They don't get it. They don't teach it. So I say, you know in your heart what's right. Follow that, okay? When you were a little child, you were 4 years old. If there was an injustice, you saw one child being treated better than another child. You knew it was an injustice. You just saw it. How did you know? You didn't go to school. Nobody taught you about injustice. You just saw it, okay? So you have to learn to trust that knowing, that inner light, that wordless source, and follow it and trust it. See, Christ did. See, Christ did. And he was obedient. See, he trusted it, and then he did what he knew was right. Where it led him, he did. He didn't question it. He didn't doubt it. He didn't second guess it. He didn't stop to analyze, well, what might I lose? Do I stand to lose something if I do this? Or, see, he full speed ahead, regardless of the consequences. Okay? So it's very important. So you have to find your intuition. Okay? You have to find it, which it's always been there, but you've doubted it. Now it feels like conscience. Or you're so far from it, you don't even feel your conscience anymore. Now it just feels like maybe anxiety sometimes. Well, that's your intuition. It's trying to call you back. See, God doesn't abandon you. You make a lot of mistakes. You doubt him. You doubt your intuition. You doubt what you know in your heart. See, even though you sort of know what's right, you go ahead and do wrong anyway. You make the wrong moves. You do what other people say on their timetable. You bow and scrape and shake in your boots before authorities. See, any authority and you shake in front of, you shake. And then you do whatever they say. You mindlessly follow whatever they say. And where does it lead you sometimes? It leads you into worse shape. But if you trusted your intuition. See, your intuition is your infallible guide. That doesn't mean that you sometimes don't need help from someone. You may need help with your car, with getting your car fixed, or you may need to have a tooth pulled or a bone set if you break a leg or something. Okay? Well, then, you know, a lot of times your intuition will help you to find the right doctor. Okay? The one who knows what he or she is doing. See? and it'll steer you away from some charlatan, perhaps, you see. Very well. The inner authority. Christ found it. You must find it also. It's your intuition. It's what you know in your heart. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's little lecture, little discourse, little talk, okay, on the Sermon on the Mount. I'm just scratching the surface. I'm just scratching the surface. I'm just seeking to make you aware of what's there. See, so you can see for yourself as I say it. See, all I'm doing is saying what I see, what comes to me in the moment, spontaneously. See, and I just say it. And perhaps you, when you hear what I'm saying, you can see that it's true. Well, how do you know that what I'm saying is true? It's because you know it intuitively. It's the inner testimony. Inwardly, you sense. See, it's inwardly something is silently, quietly, wordlessly saying yes. Okay. So that's how. So it's not me that's the authority. It's the inner authority. Okay. And if you're out in the world and then someone says something and it sounds right, it may even be technically correct, but something within kind of says, hold you back. That's your authority. Okay? My name is Roland.